Somebody should put us on.
All right. Hello, everyone. We're going to get started here. We're just going to start right away with questions here at the field. So we'll start with Samantha, and then we'll be followed up with 2 balls and a mic. Go ahead.
Just to have the turnout we did at our home opener, and then to be able to put on a show like we did tonight, getting a clean sheet, which is extremely important, and scoring goals. I think we couldn't have asked for a better game for ourselves and for the city. Of course.
Absolutely.
I think the third goal.
There's a
I
little
put up
C,
the C.
yeah.
So
We all
third-
felt it.
yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's really important to us that we represent our home really well and we keep clean sheets at home. When people come here, we want it to be a really hard place to play and hard place to score. And we accomplished that today. I think people are not going to second guess us anymore, and they're not going to take us for granted. That's 2 games in a row. And I think originally when people saw us, they thought they could come in here and, be successful. And I think we kind of turned that around, and people are going to come here and think differently now.
You are mistaken.
Let's go.
Go ahead.
One of the best individual performances from any soccer player for possibly have 4 goals in a game. Could you talk about what that's like? It's just, the first home opening game in San Diego. Do you feel like you're at home? And could you take me through, the emotions?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I am home, and I think everyone can feel it and can see it. The ball just dropped my way tonight after the 2 penalties. But I feel like all around it was such a great team performance. Like we were everywhere on this pitch. I didn't get those goals without the amazing crosses that forced the handball, or the header by Mira, or other defensive work. So it was a really great team effort by everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really important that we have solid game changers. They came in and they changed the game for sure. They made a stamp, and like she was saying, Amira, Kale, they all came in and they really performed at the best that they could, and they brought their own identity as well. And I think that's what we needed, and the way the game was going. They were trying to change some things, and obviously things weren't working for them, so they tried to change the game many times, but ultimately we adjusted and we adapted to the performance. And I think the people who came in the game really made a shift and made it possible for Al to be fantastic as usual.
Alex, I was looking for information, and I think that you are the 3rd player to score 4 goals in a match. What does it feel to be in one of the history of the NWSL?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I just want to help my team's success. I want to win games, especially at home, hold down the fort here, represent the city well. I think we did that. The ball dropped for me in favor of me tonight. So I don't think I'd ever gotten 3 goals in a game in the club, but I just passed that and I went for the 4. So
She said that's too easy. Let me just go more.
Yeah, go ahead.
So heading into this week, Falcon FC was rated number 1. You guys played this week on 4-0. How does it feel to be the baddest deal since Batman?
how do I even come back? Was that a question or a statement?
It feels freaking awesome,
You guys
man.
are the
It feels
baddest deal since
awesome.
Batman and Robin.
I mean, I appreciate it.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
Full
Yeah,
team
just
performance.
for either of you, obviously you have 2 back-to-back wins on the road and then today. How do you just plan to keep that momentum? I know probably people are thinking they want every day to be Charlie's birthday, but how do you just plan for that to keep going?
I think the biggest thing coming into that huddle is Casey told us that she's going to expect more from us from now on. And I think that's the biggest statement of this team, is that it's always another level than what we perform at. So next week we want to be better than we were today. And I know that we're capable of that. So it's just up to us to take some time, rejuvenate, and then come back out here and put the work in so that next week when we come out here, it is 1 step more, 1% more every week.
Yeah, it's a long season. I mean, obviously we celebrate tonight, but in this win, but we still have 22 more games.
It's a long time.
We'll go here and then
Five goals in 2 matches. How do you keep momentum going into playing Chicago on Sunday next week?
Chicago's a really good team. We know that they're going to bring a different style of play than we've seen the last 2 games. But ultimately, if we play our game and we bring our game to them, I think we'll be successful. And I think, again, it's just making sure that we stick to our game plan and we don't allow them to change the game. We control the game.
Yeah, I think we just keep having like the crowds that we do, the energy, feeding off of this energy tonight. It was electric. So just being able to absolutely dominate at home, we want to make sure we do this every single game that we're here. And so we expect nothing less next week too.
Yeah, we have an extra player on the field with this crowd.
I'm curious if the preseason schedule prepares you. Your coach said you're in the best division. Are you feeling that maybe too?
I don't know necessarily if we're in the best division, but I mean, I feel like every team is quality, like across the board in this league. And I just feel like for us, like having a preseason tournament or at least like a longer preseason was essential to us to like grow into ourselves, to learn each other's strengths a lot more. And, to feel free to make those mistakes that we did in the Challenge Cup and be able to come here knowing that we took a step up coming in the season.
Absolutely, everything she said. There's nothing to say more. It was great. We needed that time, and we were new. And I think 12 weeks in, we realized like we've made a lot of mistakes, but we've learned so much and become better.
And did you feel some sympathy for their goalkeeper? Because she really didn't have a chance.
I felt a lot of emotions tonight. That was my old team, and it's like my family. I've been there for 5 years since I came out of college, so there was a lot of emotions.
She said the ball kind of just dropped on you tonight. But do you have any superstitions before going into a game, like any rituals maybe that caused this game to go so well for you?
I do, but whether I want to share that is debatable. But also, I feel like as a mom, like superstitions kind of go out the window because I am mom up until I get to the stadium. So anything I want to eat or do or like take a nap or whatever, like, I mean, every day is just different because I'm just mom until I step on the field and I'm a soccer player.
Super mom.
Thank you. The expectations are high for next game. Is there anything you guys are going to do differently coming up for Chicago?
I wouldn't say differently. I think we're just going to go back to the training ground and work more on our style and make sure that we get our game plan down as well as we can. That way, when we get out here Saturday or Sunday next week, we can implement it to the best of our abilities and make sure that Chicago bends to us and we don't bend to them.
We're going to take the last couple online. Taylor, you start, and then Jonathan will follow.
Yeah, you guys had nearly 6 times as many shots today as you did in the game against Houston. Was that a focus point of practice this past week?
I think the biggest focus point for us was like getting the ball in the final third and feeding the forwards more, just being on the front foot more and closing our gaps between our lines, between forward to midfield to defense. And I think we executed the game plan really well and we're able to take that information and apply that to this game.
Thank you.
Jonathan, go ahead.
Thanks. Hey guys, congrats on the win. It's Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philly Inquirer. Hi, Kailen. Hope everything's going well out there. Alex, hope all's going well with you too. And Alex, the question is for you. With all that's happened to you over the last 12 months, and I guess I could go back even farther than that, even at the start of the pandemic. Do you feel really, back to your full firing self now?
Yeah, I feel like, I got a lengthy preseason, which was really important for myself and a lot of players who had a longer off season, and not being with the national team really over the winter. I needed to get back into form, and I feel now 90 minutes game fit. I feel in form. I definitely feel like I'm doing what I need to do to help this team be successful, and I'm hopeful that I'll be back with the national team soon. That's ultimately my goal, is to put back on that jersey and create success with 2 teams.
Thank you. And since it's after midnight over here, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, we're going to let them go. And we're going to start again with questions here at the field. So we'll start with Samantha, and then we'll go here. Sorry, it's loud.
Can't hear you over the shouts of Alex, which is fair enough tonight.
What do you have to say about Alex and what he's proposed?
World-class players have world-class games, and that was definitely an example of that tonight. I think the save, the one to the left, was unbelievable. And then I think, listen, 4 goals is, she's been playing well all season, Alex, but I thought tonight she went to another level again. I thought she was really calm in those moments where it took ages, it seemed ages to take the penalties, and you know, she's been in the right areas and scored the goals. I thought it was overall like a really good team performance. I thought we really applied the game plan. I thought we trained well all week, so I wasn't surprised by the performance. And you know, I said it in the huddle, it takes every single one of those players in the week to prepare the team, and what a great night for the fans. Yeah. Well, I'm very much of the opinion you're only ever as good as your last game, so we don't want the next one to be a low point for us. So I said to them, I'm going to ask more of you week on week, and I'm going to ask you to continue improving and continue developing. And that's probably harsh when they've come off the back of a 4-0 win, but it's because I know that we're capable of more, and I know that we've got a lot of growth to go. But you know, I said to them, enjoy that. They looked like they had fun tonight, and that was so pleasing for me as a coach to see that they were having so much fun out there. Another clean sheet, because I think we've got the best goalkeeper in the world. But from front to back, I thought we were outstanding. We just need to build on that now, because we know there's going to be tougher tests ahead. Yeah, she's stable, which is a really, you know, positive. And I think, listen, that win was for her tonight, because she's an influential character in our locker room. She's our captain, and to see her go off like that in such distress was difficult. But she's, you know, she's stable, and that's a good thing for us. Thanks.
Back-to-back games with clean sheets. What statement does the team make to the rest of the league with this 2 results?
Yeah, 2 very different games, if I'm honest. I didn't think we were great in Houston. We know that. We've come here tonight, and I thought played some really good soccer. That's what you guys call it, isn't it? So I thought, yeah, there's no statement. It's one game at a time, and I know that sounds cliche, but I do think we're going to make life more difficult, because other teams are really going to start looking now. But it's on to the next game now. You know, we've got another really tough test next week against Chicago, and we've got to be even better to try and get points in that game.
Casey, for you, Kailen talked about just the expectation of keeping that standard high. As a coach, as you're still developing and just kind of getting the hang of things, how do you feel like you want to continue to manage and just build that? Obviously, a 4-0 clean sheet win is incredible, so how do you build off that?
You asked for more, which is exactly what I did. And you know, they've got, the good thing is, because the way the schedule is, we managed to get them a couple of days off this week, which I think is really important, off the back of travel and stuff. So they'll have a couple of days off now, and then when they're back in on Tuesday, we're going again. You know, we'll look at the opposition and their threats, and they play a different system than we played against tonight. So, you know, we've looked at them closely, and we're going to need to be even better. You know, so we need to get back on the training field. We also need to take huge positives from tonight and show them when we're good, what we look like, and keep building on that. Thanks.
Yeah, go ahead.
Casey, how significant was this win at home for you guys tonight?
Yeah, listen, it's 2 wins out of 2, 1 on the road, 1 at home. It's significant because it's our first ever home game in the league. So it was a big night for the fans, a big night for the club. So to come here, keep clean sheet, score 4 goals, you know, get Alex Morgan on the score sheet for 4 times. And I have to say, like, I thought our pressing was outstanding tonight, you know, and that started from the front. That started with Jodie, Alex, and Sophia getting that right. And Alex presses on the goal that she scores. So you get your awards if you do your hard work. So yeah, really big for the club, really big for the squad, and just something for us to build on.
We're going to take some questions online. We'll start with Meg and then go Jonathan.
Hi, Casey. Hopefully you can hear me. Team,
Alex. Yeah, just about.
Team broke a lot of records just in terms of shots in the box. Alex leading the way with 14 shots for the first time ever in an NWSL game. I mean, are you going to be looking at these numbers and, you know, valuing them, or is that just something that you set aside after this game?
No, absolutely. Look at the numbers. We always look at the numbers because I think they're important. They tell part of the story, not all of it. But one thing we said is we didn't create enough chances in Houston. We didn't get in the right positions and in the final third. And I thought we did that way more tonight. I think, I don't know the official stats, maybe 37 shots, which is a real high number. It's now, I'm going to probably ask, can we turn more of those into goals? But yeah, I thought, listen, front to back, back to front, outstanding tonight. And we've had a really good week. So the whole squad's been outstanding.
Thanks, Casey.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Jonathan, and then Sophie.
Thank you, Casey. This is Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer. You know, reading what you've said to Meg and Steph in The Athletic and a number of other outlets so far in your time in San Diego about how much you've enjoyed it and settling into life in the U.S. and coaching in the U.S. Do you allow yourself on a night like this, especially after Alex's third goal, just to sit back and say to yourself, hey, I've got this incredible collection of talent in front of me, starting with Alex?
Never, especially not after the first goal. Maybe after the fourth, I can sit back a little bit. But no, because it's about my job is to continue to look ahead and look at how we can improve. If I sit back, I'm complacent, then we'll get complacent. And I don't believe in complacency. I'm a very driven person. I'm a very driven head coach. And, you know, my players will probably, you know, say that as well, because we've just come off the back of a win and I'm asking for more. So, but yeah, listen, I'm extremely, the thing that made me smile tonight was just seeing them enjoy themselves out there and use the ball in such a way that controlled the game, and players coming off the bench and making a real difference in terms of our game changers again. You know, we've got incredible roster here. We've got a load of young talent that's showing again, time and time, what they're capable of. If you give young players an opportunity, it's amazing what they can achieve.
Thank you and congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Great. Sophie will be our last question for the night. Go ahead.
Hi, Casey. Congrats on the win, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I was just wondering, you had to go to Houston and back, and I think that might be also one of the largest distances you've traveled for an away game and back for as a coach or a player, because we know generally WSL teams aren't that far from each other. But and you said that you had a couple of days off. Did you is there more conversation going on with your support staff and your players just about recovery to deal with that? Because we know those trips in NWSL can really take it out of players.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was, you know, I had lots of conversations I got before I even got here to educate me about the travel, because the players that, you know, are here, Jodie Taylor, or I played with myself, have spoke about the demands of the travel and how much it takes out of players. So we look very carefully at the schedule where we can get players a bit of extra time off. So we flew back on Monday. That don't class as a day off. So we gave them Tuesday off. So we only had 3 days prep to this game. And off the back of this, we don't play again, you know, till next week. So we can actually have Sunday, Monday off. So we try and kind of give them those double days where we can, because the recovery is so important. And, you know, we're talking about protein shake straw after the game. We're talking about ice baths. We're talking about, you know, compression tights. We're talking about everything around nutrition, and those things become so important when you are on the road traveling. And like you say, the longest I ever did to an away game in the WSL was probably 4.5 hours on a coach, not traveling across time zones. You know, we've got a brutal trip coming up where we go to Louisville we play on the Sunday, we play Louisville away on the Wednesday, and then we play North Carolina away on the Sunday. And that's equivalent of traveling to Russia and back, you know, and we're expected to do those trips within 4 days and play games. And it puts a lot of demand on your squad. I'm really lucky that I've got a roster full of talent and young talent and people that are capable of playing.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.
Sorry, Sophie, that was long-winded. Apologies.
That's
All
great.
right. Cool. Thank you, everyone. We'll let Casey go. Enjoy.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.